Listen, I know exactly why you are still unprofitable after all these months and years. Okay? Number one, you don't have clear set of rules that you can follow every single day and take trades. You don't have a mechanical trading strategy that has a high win rate and can provide consistent, good setups every single day. Number three, you are trying to overanalyze everything. You're looking at different things like order flow, market structure, daily bias, SMT. You're trying to combine all these concepts together in hopes of taking good trades. But what happens is that you get into this analysis paralysis state where you're analyzing too much and then you're taking bad trades. But what if you had a system, a mechanical system that you could follow like a robot and still make a decent amount of money consistently? Now, what I'm about to teach you in this video is very simple. It is a mechanical strategy that even your 90 years old grandma can follow, okay? And trading is supposed to be easy. You might have noticed all these for all these years that whenever you overcomplicate your trading, you get confused, you take bad trades. But when you have a clear, easy system to follow, you take good trades, okay? So that's exactly what I'm about to teach you in this video, a simple strategy that works and is consistent, okay? So this strategy is based around power of three, but it is a different variation of power of three, and we're gonna be taking our trades on the 1 minute time frame. Now, before we start, I want to let you guys know about myself. I've been trading for over 8 years now, consistently. I've helped more than 100 students get funded, get their consistent payouts. I'm currently funded with 5 prop firm accounts, and I live trade every single day in my private community. Now, if that's not enough for sign for you that what I'm teaching you right now is actually going to help you, then I don't know what to say, okay? Now, my free videos alone on YouTube have helped so many people get funded, get their payouts, and that's what I'm all about. I want to teach you for absolutely free, and these videos are going to help you, and especially this video is going to give you a system that you can follow every single day without second guessing things or over analyzing the markets, and then you can take simple trades that are profitable. I'm talking about 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk reward ratio trades. So without wasting any more time, let's get on with the video, and please hit the subscribe button. That is gonna motivate me to create more educational content. All right, guys, so here is the simple strategy. And all you really need is the 8 a.m. candle to frame your trades. And I'm talking about the 1 hour candle, okay? So the 1 hour 8 a.m. candle, which prints like this. And this strategy is for NQ only, futures, not CFD, okay? This is for futures only, NQ. So, first thing first, you will be waiting for the 8 a.m. candle to close, okay? So the 8 a.m. candle will have a low and a high, right? So now the next step is you want to mark out the low of the 8 a.m. candle and the high of the 8 a.m. candle. Now the next step is that you're waiting for the next candle on the 1 hour to open. So let's say the candle opens here, right? Now what you want to do is drop down to 1 minute time frame. And the next step is very simple. You're waiting for price to either sweep out the high or the low. So let's say that price sweeps out the high of the 8 a.m. 1 hour candle. Right? Now, the next step is very simple. All you're looking for is this is the first step. You're looking for a market structure shift on the 1 minute time frame with a body closure. Not a wick, but a body closure. So once we have a market structure shift, that is step 1. Now we also want to see price come back and close below the So we also need to see price come back and close below the 8 a.m. high that was swept. So we swept the 8 a.m. high. We have a market structure shift. Now the next step is we want to make sure that price has come back below the 8 a.m. high, which would be the range high. So when we get a closure below the range, you can enter in 2 different ways. You can either take your entry on the retest of this 8 a.m. high or through breaker block. Now breaker block is my favorite entry pattern to use with this strategy. So we have a higher high, higher low, and then a higher high. So we use the breaker block is basically a the end of a higher high and the end of a higher low, okay? And then this is another higher high. We're looking at the previous one. So you mark that out, you take your entry from that, you can put your stop above the breaker block or to be on the safe side above this high over here. And then you are basically targeting the 8 a.m. low. So with that in mind, you can see the risk to reward ratio potential with this trading strategy. You're not getting 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 even. You can sometimes get 1 to 7, 1 to 8 risk to reward ratio. And the win rate on this is absolutely crazy and consistent. This is what really matters. The win rate has to be consistent over a period of months, right? So it can't be like you have like 80% win rate in January, but then you have 32% win rate in February. Okay, this is not consistent, but this strategy, when I'm going to give you guys some examples, you will understand how consistent it is. So this is the entry model, guys. We sweep out the 8 a.m. high, right? And then we look for a market structure shift on the 1 minute. We wait for price to close back below the 8 a.m. high. We take our entry from the breaker block and we target the 8 a.m. low. Now for risk management, what we want to do is, let's say we take our entry from here. Now what we can do is, to be on the safe side, if there is a 5-minute fair value gap that is unfilled, right, within this 8 a.m. range, then that could be your break-even zone, okay? So a 5-minute unfilled fair value gap could be the break-even zone. And you must go break-even at least after 1 to 1, okay? So you go break-even at 1 to 1 if, let's say that there is a fair value gap down there, right? Let's say there's a fair value gap just here on the 5-minute time frame, and that can sometimes happen. You cannot go break even at that 5-minute fair value gap. You go break even at 1 to 1 minimum, but a recommended amount is 1 to 1.5 after your entry. Once price hits 1 to 1.5, you can go break even, and in most cases, if there's unfilled 5-minute gap, just hold the trade till then. We're not to go break even. We're not taking any partials whatsoever. We're just targeting this low over here. And if I flip over the chart, same applies with the 8 a.m. low. So if we sweep out the 8 a.m. low first, what we're looking for is a market structure shift after price sweeps the low. Then we're waiting for price to close back above the 8 a.m. low. And then we're taking our entry either on the retest of the low or on a breaker block. And we're simply targeting the 8 a.m. high. And that is pretty much the strategy. Now, if you want to increase the win rate even further, you can look for SMT divergence at the lows. So if you sweep out the low, look for SMT divergence with ES, right? And that's pretty much it. You don't need anything else. So that is the entire strategy. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of examples, and that is going to clear out each and everything. Okay, so this is example number 1, looking at NQ on the 1 hour. Make sure your time zone is set to New York over here. Now, we have the 8 a.m. candle closed, so simply mark out the 8 a.m. high and the 8 a.m. low. Then drop down to 1 minute time frame and wait for price to sweep out either the high or the low. So in this case, the high was swept. Now the next step is we're waiting for a market structure shift to the downside. And right here, we have a closure below the low, but we also have a closure below the range high, which was this 8 a.m. high. So we need to see a closure below the range as well. Now the next step is we take our entry from the breaker block, okay? But you can see that we have already tapped into the breaker block right here. So this would have been your entry just at the retest, stop above the high, and you would target the 8 a.m. low. So let's see how this plays out. Bam, right there. Do you see the power of the strategy? Like this happened today. We did also form a fair value gap here, tapped into it, and then we pushed down, giving you almost 1 to 7 risk reward ratio, which is absolutely crazy. You could have passed your profit challenge with just 1 trade. So let's move on to the next example now. All right, guys, so here's example number 2. And personally, when I'm trading this strategy, I don't go break even, okay? I just let the probabilities play out. I don't go break even. I don't move anything. I just let the algorithm play out, okay? But the reason why I talked about going break even at 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2 is just for your safety. If you're not comfortable with, taking a loss, even when price is almost near your TP level and then reverses, then just go break even. Otherwise, if you trust the process and your psychology is correct, and you know that over the long period of time, your equity curve is going to look like something like this, then just don't go break even. It's not necessary. So we have the 8 a.m. candle closed, mark out the high and the low of the 8 a.m. candle, then simply drop down to 1 minute time frame. So this is basically the high of the 8 a.m. candle. And then we sweep out the 8 a.m. high. Now we're looking for a market structure shift. And right there, we have a market structure shift. Now we also have a breaker block. So we have already gotten an entry at the retest. So this is going to be my entry. Stop loss is going to go above the breaker block. And I'm going to be targeting the 8 a.m. low, giving us 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio. So let's see how this plays out. We get multiple tests at the breaker block, and that is why I'm against going break even with this strategy, even though I have talked about going break even in this video, but it is for your own safety, and it's only if you are not comfortable with price reversing near your TP level. It's gonna just F up your psychology. So if you're not okay with, just go break even, and in that case, that trade would have been a break even for you. But personally, I wouldn't go break even. If I'm risking the amount that I'm comfortable losing, then it shouldn't matter. So you can see how price respected the breaker block and it didn't go above it. So our stop loss was protected, and then price gave you 1 to 1.5 risk to reward. We're not taking any partials. Again, you can take 2-3 losses in a row, but this trade alone can recover all of the losses. So that is the beauty of this trading strategy. It is simple, it is repeatable, it is mechanical, and you can follow it every single day. Let's move on to the next example. All right, guys, so here's another example. We have the 8 a.m. candle high and the low printed out. So you want to mark out the high and the low. Then we're going to simply drop down to 1 minute time frame. Wait for price to take out the high. And that happens right there. Now we're waiting for a market structure shift. Price consolidates here a bit, but then over here you can see we swept the liquidity, and then we had a market structure shift right here. Right? We closed below the range. We had a market structure shift, and then you want to mark out the breaker block. Just going to be something like this. Okay? And your entry is going to be on the retest of the breaker block. Stop loss can go above the breaker here. And then you can target the 8 a.m. low, which would give you around 1 to 7 risk to reward. And price came back, almost got you out here. But since this is algorithm, and since we are going to respect the breaker block, it played out perfectly. You could have put your stop above the high as well. It's not the end of the world. Still would have given you 1 to 6, but I'm just showing you to show you like how the breaker block is going to give you the best entries and how it is my favorite PD array to use with this strategy. Let me give you guys one more example and then I'll end the video. All right, guys, so here's the last example. You can see we have the 8 a.m. candle. So we mark out the 8 a.m. high and the 8 a.m. low. Then we wait for price to either take out the low or the high. So let's drop down to 1 minute time frame. So price sweeps out the 8 a.m. low, and then this is the market structure shift level. Right there we have a market structure shift. Now we want to mark out the breaker block, which is right here. Now your entry is going to be off this breaker block. Your stop loss is going to go below the breaker block, and then you're going to target 1 to 2 minimum. Okay, so you could target the 8 a.m. high over here, but the minimum is 1 to 2. So I don't care. I'm going to hold till 1 to 2. So we get our entry. We accumulate here, and then we hit our TP. Okay, so one small thing that I need to clarify here is that if you're not getting 1 to 2 at the 8 a.m. high, then go break even as soon as this level is hit. And I would personally go break even when this level is hit, but the 1 to 2 is not reached, and then I'll hold the trade till 1 to 2. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.